What happens if the Supreme Court blows up the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare? On November 10th, 2020, the U.S. Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in the constitutionality of the Affordable Care Act, known as Obamacare, and it is possible that they will invalidate the entire law. So what does that mean for people? I get this question asked a lot from my clients in California because it's pretty scary if everything goes away, because there are a lot of health insurance issues tied to the Affordable Care Act, the subsidies to make them affordable, and the plan structures and conditions within those plans in California. The good news is that each state regulates its own insurance market. And that is good in the sense that they can make their own laws, and that's what California has done. They have embraced the Affordable Care Act and universal affordable coverage for everyone, and they have passed several laws which all states had to do to align their plans with Affordable Care Act conditions so that they would be eligible for the subsidies. And conditions which are, you cannot deny people health insurance for pre-existing conditions or rate them up because of that. Maternity must be covered. There can't be caps on the benefits paid to health insurance. There has to be no-cost preventative office visits. So there's a whole slew of conditions and benefits within these ACA plans. And if the ACA, Obamacare, is struck down, they could all go out the window. But in California, we have embraced the Affordable Care Act. We set up the Covered California Health Insurance Marketplace Exchange. The primary mission of Covered California is to determine the eligibility of individuals and families for the federal subsidies, the premium tax credits, and then once a member chooses a plan, Covered California sends the subsidy amount to the health plan every month. And so far it's been working pretty good. Yeah, there's a lot of bumps along the way, but Covered California in California is working really well for the about 1.4, 1.5 million people that get subsidies through Covered California. Now, the plans, because they are benefit rich compared to the previous plans that could deny you for having a pre-existing condition and did not include maternity or had caps on the benefits that a health plan would pay if you were in the hospital, the rates for health insurance are more expensive. If you're in Covered California or healthcare.gov and you're getting a subsidy, then it doesn't affect you too much. But if you're outside of the income window, which is 400% of the federal poverty level, then the health insurance plans can be really expensive. Covered California, and California recognized this, and California has implemented an additional subsidy for high earner incomes above the federal limit between 400 and 600% of the federal poverty level for some additional help. It still doesn't solve all of the problems, but California is trying to make affordable health care as universal as possible. And so that's the good news for people who live in California. Now, if the ACA is struck down, and there are those states that rely on healthcare.gov, the whole marketplace just may kind of fall apart, melt down for them. That's not going to be a good thing, because they have no mechanisms to bring everything back together. They have no way to support health insurance for individuals and families. And there is another issue that will be tough for California to grapple with, but it's the expanded Medicaid, expanded Medi-Cal in California. So if an individual earns less than 138% of the federal poverty level, they are automatically eligible for MAGI Medi-Cal, Modified Adjusted Gross Income Medi-Cal, based solely on the income. And that is a part of the ACA. I do not know if the Supreme Court strikes down Obamacare, what's going to happen to that, because it's tied into the Affordable Care Act. Fortunately, the Medi-Cal plans are reasonably priced, so California may be able to handle that chunk, but there are far more people in MAGI Medi-Cal than there are in Covered California getting the subsidies. So we have the states that regulate their own insurance, and I have heard, it gets thrown about, we're going to protect pre-existing conditions. The president says that's going to be protected. I don't know how. What would be the federal mechanism to ban any denial of health insurance for people with pre-existing conditions or not have them rated up? How could the feds come in and mandate that? Right now, it's tied to the Affordable Care Act. So that is the pre-existing exclusion, is through the Affordable Care Act. And other people say, well, Trump has a plan. No, he doesn't have a plan. There is no plan B. We're in a presidential election cycle. If he had a plan for health insurance, he would have revealed it, but he hasn't. So we are left with the prospect of, even if Trump is not reelected, the Supreme Court will hear oral arguments and may make a decision in 2021. But even if they shut down the Affordable Care Act, blow it up, it's still going to take many months for Congress to wrangle with this issue and get something put in place. If you live in California, I don't think California is going to let that happen. California will fill the vacuum. The governor and the legislators and Covered California and the people of the Department of Managed Healthcare and Healthcare Services have all been very proactive in expanding health insurance to as many people as possible. It could be that even if the Affordable Care Act goes away, Covered California, with the aid of other legislation, will just step in and just take over. Now, that probably will mean some sort of tax, because there's a lot of money going out in these subsidies every month to health plans, and we do have the expanded Medi-Cal. However, we do have Covered California. California has shown a willingness to devise an additional subsidy for people who earn too much money. And many of the legislators and executives had said, we're going to protect health insurance and make it universal. So if you live in California, you can feel good that even if the Supreme Court strikes down the Affordable Care Act, Covered California is going to step up to the plate and make something happen. If you live in another state, well, that might be just a real bad situation. So hopefully it doesn't come to that, but if you're in California, I think you're going to be protected, and it's going to be okay. It's going to work out. I'm Kevin with InsureMeKevin.com. Thanks for watching. Take care. Be safe.